Then where's
Yeah,
the
there we.
share?
Oh, no, there's.
Where's the share button on this
So
one?
go. Wait till the stream comes up.
Oh.
Okay, there we go. Okay, stream is up now. Find the page. Go to the page. Right.
Oh, this one, right?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah. Scroll down. See the show.
Oh, there it is live.
Yeah,
Okay.
Now, I think go down farther,
Oh.
and you find the regular post. Okay. Let's see.
Oh, wow.
So I think you can probably tap that little say share. Yeah. Okay.
Go down,
Where you're in? I don't know where you're at. Okay. Is it? Tap that.
Oh, wow. There's a
Okay.
little bit of a
Share
part.
video.
Share video.
Okay.
Share now.
Share now. Okay.
Bam.
There. You're
Oh.
sharing the video.
All right. I just woke up Bruce.
Share now. Okay.
Wow. Cool.
And this should be coming over on another feed as well, I believe.
One person's watching.
One person.
I got an eyeball.
I'll be watching you.
Is that me watching? Oh, there goes two.
Okay, here I am. Now I can share a little easier from here. Okay, right post. I'm going to go hit my news feed, post. Okay, share again. Go to Apple or on-set lighting. Share on-set lighting. Go to my news feed, Applebox. Post. Okay. And let me hit share again. Right post. Yes. Okay. Post. And we are streaming. I see you, Tony, in there. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Tony, you'll do the pick. You'll do the pick.
Okay.
And I think we'll just do best comment. Best comment.
That's cool.
What do you? I mean, I'm open for suggestions if there's a better one you have. Anything?
Bueller?
I don't have one off the top of my head. We got 2 minutes.
Okay.
2 minutes to rock.
I mean, it could be question, but I think question is
Oh, 6.
we may not have that much opportunity.
Well, then, hey, then somebody gets a book, huh? Somebody posts a question, they get a book.
No comment. Best comment.
Best, yeah.
Best comment. Best damn
Yeah,
comment.
so not question, but comment. Could be a question. Best comment.
Best comment on some major change in your life.
Yeah, and the unexpected, right?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Best unexpected.
How to prepare for the unexpected. Yeah, how to prepare for the unexpected.
You got the spin all up over there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Can you go to the A camera? Just right through this roll. I just want to see if I can hold that up and if you read it. Can you read that?
Yeah, barely.
Barely, yeah. It's too
upside down.
small.
It's upside down.
How about if I did this to my camera?
That's blurry. No.
Blurry, no. No good. Okay. These are the C47s.
Yeah, I know.
I'll throw
I
one
kinda
in.
figured out what they were.
I'll throw one in.
I'll throw one in. Ooh, 4 people are on. That means more than one more than here.
Yeah, we beat our audience.
We beat our audience. The
the studio is
studio audience. We beat our
yes,
studio audience.
Yeah.
Up to 6.
Hey, hey.
We're rolling it in.
We're loving you.
Somebody
We're
went to
loving
the
you.
bathroom. It's down to 5.
Check it out. Check it out. We're going to be live.
We're counting.
Live in 5.
We're counting flushes.
That's right. That's right. Two o'clock, got to be Burnie's Applebox, and I'm very glad to be here this week. Gary, how you doing, brother?
Wow, I'm shaking the hand of a live person. I love it.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Tony, how you doing, my man?
I am well. I can't believe you're actually here.
Yeah, well, I'm happy I'm
Tried
here.
to get him to take the week off, but you can't keep a good man down.
No.
Well, thanks for the assumption I'm a good man. I appreciate that very much. Very much. You know, this program is the unexpected, right? And I had a stroke at 9:20 a.m. on last Friday. Last Friday, we were going to come do a show together.
Oh, yeah, with me.
With you. And I was in the bathroom. I had this arm go totally numb, totally dead, and I knew enough about strokes to understand that that may be occurring, and said something to my wife, and I totally slurred the whole thing. And by the time I got from the bathroom to my bed, which was about 20 feet, I couldn't actually form a word. You know.
Wow.
So that was very, very strenuous and quite shocking. And I spent 3 days in the hospital. And there were some things that happened to me that we took immediate action. My wife was on the phone in the first minute. I actually live 5 minutes, or excuse me, I live a block from a fire station.
Wow.
And those guys were there in 5 minutes. Wow. You know, and just a series of events that worked in my favor. You know, I mean, sirens were on, lights were on. They got me to the hospital, and I did a video on Tuesday. And I was still pretty groggy. I was just 3 days in the hospital, and that was the first night I had been home. And I got up and I did this video in the morning. And I told about the story. And I want to play a little bit of that for you. Let me just say this. A lot of people saw it. So many people. I think I had like 330 comments or more on that. Many likes and hearts and... a lot of things. And to every one of you, thank you so much. And I got so much love back, you know, on that.
Very cool. Very cool.
And I want to play this because, number one, it tells about, you know, first of all, what you do, how you know you've got it, and why time is so important.
Yes.
Time is the most important element in a stroke. And I'll go into that a little bit later on, too. But one of the things that I want to tell you, well, I'll come back and do that. Let's take a look at this first. Let's take a look at this first. Last Friday morning, I had a stroke. And it's really, really, really opened my eyes. First of all, you're looking at the luckiest man in the world. I survived it. I am back home now. I got back home last night. I spent 3 days in the hospital. Everything went right for me as far as having a stroke. I want to just recount it to you because there's some really life-saving things that happened to me. Just moments, I mean, just in those first few moments. Patrick, Ben, I see you joining, thank you. I was getting ready in the morning to go out, and I was just, I wanted my wife to shave the back of my neck because it had grown out a little bit. And I mentioned that it was 9:15 in the morning. I got to hurry. And so I got in the bathroom and she started shaving the back of my neck. And suddenly, and I mean out of nowhere suddenly, I lost my right arm. It was completely numb. It wasn't there. It was totally dead. And I knew enough about the symptoms of stroke to know that could be a thing. And I also knew that there was slurred speech. And I said to my wife, I said, the first thing I said is, "Can you understand me?" And I slurred it. And she goes, "Yes." And I said, "I think I'm having a stroke." And I went the 20 feet from the bathroom to the bedroom, and I couldn't talk. She goes, should I call 911? And I just could nod my head, and she did that immediately. So that had been about like 1 minute, 1.5 minutes, something like that, in the process. And I was trying to put my pants on, of course, and she helped me out to the living room, and she was on the phone. She gave, immediately the address. She said, "I think he's having a stroke. I'm doing all this." And we just waited for the ambulance. We waited for the paramedics, and I tell you that those few minutes were just the longest minutes I've ever waited in my life. And I started thinking, what's happening to me? I don't know if any of you have been like in a car wreck or something, had something just instantly happen to you, and the 5 minutes before seemed like an eternity away. That's the way it was for me. It was just like I'd just been slammed to the ground, and was not really gathering everything that in my mind that was happening to me. Thank God it took about 5 minutes for the paramedics to get here, and the fire department. We live up 3 stories high with no elevator, and they had to put me on a chair and carry me down and then get me into the ambulance. In the ambulance, I had no movement on my right side. My face was drooping, and I still had my legs, but I could not grasp. Until you have a limb where you're telling it to lift, and you take that for granted, and nothing happens, you don't really know what panic is. You don't really know how deep in the hole you feel. The paramedics were just so great. The fire department was so great. Had an officer ride with me up to the hospital. He was doing things. He was testing me. He was keeping cognitive ability. One of the things too that just you should know this about a stroke if you ever have one, is that you get tunnel vision. And he says, "How many fingers am I holding up?" And he was holding them like right here. And I kept thinking, well, you got to show them to me, because that's how bad my vision was. So as we're going to the hospital, they keep asking me questions. They want to know answers. They're testing me all the way. We get to the hospital. They, of course, wheel me right in. They wheel me right to the CT device. I mean, they're going to take into a CAT scan of my brain. So they take me in, they put me on it, they do the CAT scan, and then they told me about this stuff that they have, which is called TPA. It's a drug. And this drug you can only administer in the first 3 hours after a stroke. So mind you, my face is gone, my right arm is gone. And so they got me in there, and because they knew the time, they could administer it. So I was within that 3 hour period, and they put it in, and after they got me out, took me back to the intensive care unit. Slowly, I could see my arm could move again, and then my face droop. My wife said my face droop was improving, and who's laying here, by the way, exhausted. But yeah, that was pretty emotional.
That was pretty rough, emotional. Bernie. That was rough.
You know, my wife went through hell. You know, that just, I mean, it happened so quickly. That's the thing, I think, that is probably, there was no warning, there was no feeling bad, it slammed you, you know. And I look back and I think normally I would have been out of the house at that time.
Right.
I would have been driving in a car. If I would have been driving in a car, who knows what could have happened there. But also, if I had to pull over, then I dialed 911, they have to find you.
Right.
Right? And then in the time that, unless you knew exactly when it happened, and I mean, you could time the call, of course, you know what I mean?
Sure.
But they would go by that number and then get you. But if there's any delay in getting you there, you're not having this. The reason I'm here today, the reason that I'm on this show today, is because they gave me that drug.
Yeah, that's really amazing, Bernie. All the dominoes have to line up.
They have to line up. You know, just right.
And you could have been at a job site.
Oh.
You could have been out in the desert at a job.
Well, you know, that's one thing I thought about. If you're going to, like, say LA to Las Vegas, you know what I mean? And you have an emergency like that, not that it's desolate.
Right.
You know, I mean, there's plenty of people out there and stuff like that. But how about those hours? If you've got to get put on a helicopter to get, say, taken to Vegas or back to LA or Bakersfield or something like that?
Every minute counts.
Oh, I'm telling you.
Every minute counts. In fact, what's the deal with the cell phone? I wasn't really sure that you can hold a button down and it will automatically call 911 in case you can't dial it.
I don't know. I don't know.
If anybody knows out there, I'd sure like to know.
Yeah, if anybody knows, tip. And two, I'm giving away a book today. I'm giving a book for the best comment, idea, question. It could be anything. And also, if you write elephant in the comments, I'll give a book away as well. Awesome. I actually have two of them. Have two of them. Yeah, right here.
Two.
And if you notice how I'm holding this, I'm holding it with my last three fingers here because these two don't work. And that's where I'm still battling that. So yeah, we're going to give away a couple books today. It's
First
good.
person to comment with elephant.
Yeah.
Giving away one elephant book.
No. I'll pick the one who gets the elephant book. I'll pick the one because if you give the first person, then just one person does it.
Who's
Everybody else
watching
is
now?
out. Yeah.
Where'd
That's not fair. So yeah, we're giving these away. This is my business book too, Burnie's
That's very cool.
About how I started and good business practices and all that good stuff. And that just, you know, I guess I decided in my stress point to start pumping the goods more.
That's right. You know, Bernie, strokes affect everybody differently.
Yeah.
And we've had one guy, a good friend of ours in the business, had suffered a stroke about a month and a half ago.
Yeah.
And his issue is now having to relearn to talk.
Gosh.
from scratch.
Gosh.
So, you know, some
That's
of that.
that's those neural pathways in
Yes.
there. You know, this was so close to what I was feared. I mean, that's when I was sitting in that chair. That's what I was thinking. Am I going to be able to talk? Am I going to be able to walk?
Yes.
You know, will my face sag? And that is so disheartening because, you know, our friend was such a good talker.
Oh yes,
you know.
absolutely, absolutely.
And really a communicative guy, you
Right,
know.
right.
But that is, I mean, here's the bottom line, folks. And this is, you've got to take care of yourself. You know, my problem is the same as what my heart issue is, and that is horrible diet. Years of horrible diet, not watching what you eat.
And the reason for that is production.
Production. I mean, look, I know how it is. We're all going on the fly. We're all eating at all hours. We're going through a drive-through because we're late. We're hungry. It's there. We're eating. We don't question the production food. We don't make good choices in that production line, you know.
Well, what usually happens too, Bernie, you know, the producer goes, hey, would you guys mind working through lunch?
Yeah.
Taking a walking lunch?
Yeah.
And what are you going to hold and eat? Well, a hot dog, a hamburger, you know, something easy to munch down, a pizza.
Yeah.
So, you know, and sometimes producer goes, hey, can we wait another hour or two before we hit lunch?
Yeah.
And by the time you hit lunch, you're so hungry, you don't make the right decision.
Oh, no, you're making the wrong decision.
You just want to
Making
slop
the
it down
wrong
your mouth
decisions.
as fast as you can.
And you know, high blood pressure. This is something now I have to monitor every day, actually.
Yes,
You know,
yes.
we have a little machine at home, and that high blood pressure is a killer, dude. That can really set everything off, you know. And that comes by eating sweets, ice cream, you know what I mean, treats, the things that you really crave, you know.
That's and you know, the whole thing starts in the brain. You know, it
Starts in the
says
brain.
your brain says, I need something sweet.
Yeah.
And as soon as you eat something sweet,
Yeah.
now I need something salty to come back to sweetness. So
exactly.
it's
And if you're throwing down a Coke or a soda or anything like that, what I'm coming down to is we all know what happens.
Yes.
We all know it's not good for you.
Right.
You know what I mean? Don't wait till you're my age or younger. This young individual we're talking about is a good
Yes.
10, 15 years younger than our thing.
Sure.
And don't wait for that. Start now. You know what I mean? I just talked to a friend who called me and have been getting such support throughout this whole thing. He called me. You know, this guy lives on the road. He's a producer that's got people in every city in the nation, you know. And he's always eating at the restaurants. He's always eating. And he told me 2 years ago, I went totally vegetable. You know, he said he watched a thing called Game Changers.
Wow.
And I, you know, the ironic thing, when he told me that, I realized I supplied all the lighting for that whole
For
thing,
the
and I've
show.
never even seen it. Unbelievable, dude. Unbelievable.
Well, part of the story from our friend who suffered a stroke was that when they took him in and they asked him, they go, hey, listen, we can't seem to find your medical records anywhere. When's the last time you did a checkup? You know, yearly checkup. And my friend said, I think it's been over 10 years now.
Oh, man.
So, you know, as far as eating right, you gotta go minimum once a year to do your vitals.
Yeah,
you have to.
You have to. And
Blood,
you know,
blood, and your everything.
I'm the first one that'll agree that healthcare sucks in this country. You know what I mean? I will give you that.
Yes.
It's screwed up and it's horrible. You know, but I don't care if you have to go to a free clinic. I don't care if you have to go
Whatever
to
it takes.
See somebody once a year, minimum. Minimum.
It's a couple $100. Blood tests. Walk-in. You can go to those walk-in clinics.
Oh,
and
yes.
get it done.
Oh, no, you can. You
don't
can.
have to go to a
look,
hospital.
You know, we think nothing of going and spending, you know, $1,000 on a light. You know what I mean?
That's right.
take $1,000 and take care of yourself. You know, that is what, I mean, that is the most important thing. And think of this, because I used to think about this a lot. I'm in a little bit of a different position now, but what if something happens to your body? How much money do you have saved up right now that's going to ride you through that problem? Where you keep your apartment, you keep your car, you keep other things, you know what I mean? You need to have a strategic fund, number one. And this doesn't have to be anything serious. It can be an ankle that you have to stay off of for 6
Absolutely.
weeks. You know what I mean? Or it causes permanent damage. These are the things to think about, guys. You know, they're the ones that are going to put you down. It's a simple thing. It's maybe you're playing ball, maybe you're playing sports. You know what I mean? Something happens to you like that. It doesn't have to be a catastrophe.
It doesn't have to be work related.
No, not at all.
Hiking. Could be just stepping out of your car.
Oh,
Anything.
look, getting hit by a car.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean,
yes.
there's always that opportunity. So, you know, please prepare for the unexpected. And you know, I think about things. I guess I think when I think of the unexpected too, you know, I had never thought about health. When I think of the unexpected, I had never thought about health. I'd always thought, you know, well, I'm healthy, I'm good. You know,
I feel
fine.
good.
I feel good.
Right.
You know, I'm there every day.
Right. I'm not
you
in
know?
pain.
I'm not in pain. You know,
So everything
and
must be
totally
good.
take your body for granted. Now, this hand, you know, I'll tell you, this is it doesn't look bad, and I can do this with it. You know, I can touch these two, but I can't even pick up a dollar bill. A dollar bill would slip through my fingers if I tried to do it. You know what these 2 digits do? You know how much they do?
80%
I
of
can't-
everything.
I can't sign my name.
Yes.
Okay. I can't wear button-up pants because I can't get the buttons done.
And no more Chinese food for you.
Well, not only Chinese, but I can't use.
Sorry,
I can't use a fork.
Yeah.
I can't use a fork to feed myself. I have to feed myself with this left-handed stabbing and stuff. And let me tell you, you wouldn't think much about like, oh, I'm okay. I can go back on set. I drop everything out of these things. I can't tie a knot. I can't tie a shoe. I have to put slip-ons on. You know, there's so many things we take for granted, folks, that, you know, you may or may not get a second chance on. And really, let's even take it that step further. You know what I mean? John didn't sound like he got the treatment in time.
Right. Oh, no, he did.
Yeah.
He did. But the strokes always affect everybody differently.
Yes.
You know,
yes.
it could take away half your body.
Yeah.
It could be, well, not going to say as little as your hand because your
Yeah.
hand is so important.
Yeah.
But it could affect any part of your body.
Yeah, no, oh, very much so, very much so. But, you know, take care of yourself. Your body is the most important grip or lighting tool you'll have.
You know, putting away a little bit for a rainy day.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
key. That's key. And one thing, don't expect the state. For state disability,
yeah.
get in line.
Yeah,
and it
yeah.
could take 6 months,
Oh.
a year, 2 years to even recoup any kind of money.
And I will tell you this, that you don't have the bandwidth when you're ill like that, you know. It's only my wife has totally been my hero, my savior, you know, in this whole thing. But I would not, and still don't. I mean, I'm here today, but don't be fooled by this. I'm not really functioning completely.
Yeah, at
you know,
100%,
at
of course
100%
not, no.
by any means. But you know, you don't have the bandwidth to go in there and start dealing with a state and start dealing with
No way.
forms and
No
start dealing with
way.
all that mumbo jumbo and phone calls and waiting and all that stuff. You know, it's just not there.
Yeah, the state is there for dire emergencies only.
If that.
Basically,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
it.
yeah.
And they're going to make it as hard as possible
Yeah.
for you to collect. Because if it was easy, everybody would do it.
Well, yeah,
to a certain
that's
degree.
true, but they have they're a political organization.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I mean? That was all done on politics. And too, speaking of which, we should spend a little time on AB5.
Oh, the greatest nightmare to ever happen in the production business.
The fight maker, yeah.
The fight maker.
I'll tell you. But we're gonna stick with this. But over in a greater sense, you know what I mean? Tell me what you have to prepare for in the unexpected. What is something unexpected? Now, I go back to 9/11. 9/11, for me, everything was going swimmingly. It was just a perfect day, really. The jobs were good. We were going through a bit of a tech turn down at that time, and it had been white hot tech videos.
Oh, yes.
You know what I mean? Right up to that point. But still, there was plenty of good money in the landscape then.
Absolutely.
And then 9/11 happened, you know, and unpredictably, unexpectedly, all airlines were down. Flights were down. And suddenly this great plethora of companies that would come to California to shoot simply dropped off
Boom.
a cliff.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And that was something that I was not prepared for. Now, you could say easily that's not foreseeable.
Right.
You know, you can understand that. But what I could have done to prevent that, what I could have done to, you know, was had some money set aside, you know, and maybe a plan B if, like, at any time the work goes down.
Right.
You know, you've got a plan B to deal with that eventuality.
Sure.
Because, look, here's another factor I remember, not something that man-made caused, but the earthquake.
Oh, sure.
The earthquake.
A natural disaster.
A natural disaster that just put LA down, you know, and there was, unless you were a newsman, there wasn't a lot of work going on because
that's right.
No, you know, everybody just breaks up and then regroups after that.
Yes.
You know, Santa Monica was hit horribly, and there was a lot of production companies down there. You know, and just extrapolating things. Just think of something like I don't know. I mean, this is not on the foreseeable future, but just say something like Yellowstone or a volcano, Mount Rainier goes
Yes.
off, or I mean. There is something that could happen to you at the time. And I would say, don't worry about it. Don't
Right.
sit here fretting. You know what I mean? It's not like that. But what are you prepared for, really?
Yeah.
What are you prepared for?
That's so true, Bernie. You know, it's the unexpected.
The
That's
unexpected.
the name of the show.
Yeah.
And you can't worry about it.
Yeah.
But you have to prepare yourself
Yes.
for these unexpected
Yes.
events that show up.
Yes. And you have to be preventative, too.
Right.
You know.
And speaking of which, you know, this flu
Yeah.
that's coming out of China, that could affect us down the road too if they don't get it contained in time.
Exactly.
You know,
Exactly.
that's
you
an
know,
issue
I mean,
too.
you know, and those things like, look, I understand that, you know, this is not anything you could prevent.
Right.
We are
Or
not
foresee.
even we are foresee. Now, my health, that's something I could prevent.
Yes.
I have some preventative tools to work, but I ignored them.
Right.
You know.
Right.
Maybe more along the lines of like just like that illness or you know, the flu coming through, something like that. You know, I'm not even going to talk to like inoculations
Right,
or
right.
preventative, but listen, if you don't have an issue, maybe you'd get the inoculation. You know, I don't know how many people, like I know people have very strong opinions on
Protecting
inoculation.
yourself, sure.
Yeah, you know, but I get that flu shot every year. I didn't when I was younger because I thought, oh, I don't get it. I don't
Right,
get that. I
right.
never get sick. You know, it's not that big a deal. But I can tell you this, I do now.
Oh yeah.
I
oh,
do
yeah.
now, you know,
Yes.
and there's no guarantee on that flu shot.
No,
you know,
no.
They make it for
it covers
a certain
what, 60 or 70%?
60 or 70% of the viruses that are out there, and they guess on those which they think have a best chance of being the most prevalent ones. But that doesn't mean that you'll get that preventative amount.
Sure.
You know what I mean? That one that
Sure.
in particular. But let's just say it's culling your odds. You know what I mean? Against an accident.
Sure,
you know?
sure, absolutely. You know, and everybody goes, well, how can this flu affect me? You know, in the big picture. Well, if the key actor is sick, you're not shooting that day.
You're down. You're down. And if you're sick, you're not shooting.
You're
that
not
day.
shooting that day either.
Yeah. It's so many issues that can come up. You know, but we want to listen. I want to hear from you. Remember, if you put elephant in the comments,
yes,
I'm going to pick a winner. And if you have the best preventative tip, I'm gonna pick a winner out of that. Tip, comment, question, whatever. I'm just saying, throw us a line, and we'll get you a book.
Yeah, I noticed today, Bernie. You know, for lunch, you broke out a homemade chicken salad, and I'm looking at this big old sandwich full of all preservatives.
Yeah.
So was that one thing the doctor recommended, was to try to create your own meals now that you know, since you're on the run all the time, you got to have snacks. Got to have healthy snacks.
Yes. Well, I'll tell you, the wife actually suggested that. Yeah, pretty strenuously.
Wow.
And it only makes sense. You know what I mean? I think anybody out there in the freelance world, working on set, doing whatever, maybe you're always used to craft services being there. I get that.
Right.
We always get lunch. I get that.
Yes.
You know what I mean? But maybe rely a little less on that and bring your own food, which is going to be healthier. I can assure you. You know what I mean? And go that route. You know what I mean? Try to take 5, 10, 15 pounds off, you know?
Absolutely.
And this is a young person's game. Gary and I, we're not on-set guys anymore. I mean, for the most part. You go on. I'm not going anymore.
Right.
But it's a young person's game. You always think you're invincible, or that day you don't. You'll change next month. You'll take off that weight, next year.
Sure.
Don't wait for that. Don't wait for that. Start eating right now. If you're smoking, stop smoking.
Immediately.
Good Lord,
Immediately.
If you're drinking too much, if you're toking the bong, hitting the bong too often, you know what I mean? Just cool it. Just slow it down. I would say slow it down.
And I know, one of the big issues is that you're on your way to a location, and you're thinking, oh, are they going to provide craft services? Will breakfast be here?
Much.
And everything's a secret these days. They used to list it. Oh, breakfast will be
what you're having.
You had you pick off the menu.
Yeah.
Well, that's all gone now. Unless you're on a big feature, of course. But it just seems all. So what you do is now you're going to bring. You're going to drive through the drive-through, and you try to eat as much as you can because you don't know when lunch is going to be served.
Well,
so that's where the wrong choices come into play.
The wrong choices come in there, and I'll tell you, breakfast is really you have to have breakfast, number one. But that's where all the landmines are too. That's where the bacon is. That's where Tony chimes in.
Hey Tony, I got a question for you, Tony. Do you like your bacon crispy or soggy?
Oh, that's a good question. Actually, you know what? I eat turkey bacon, so.
Oh, do you?
There you go.
That's good.
That's a win-win.
That's good. Yeah. So, but that's where the landmines are, and that's where you're going to get, that. I mean, I used to love the Del Taco steak burrito, steak and eggs burrito, filled with cheese. You know what I mean? And that cheese is off the menu.
And the sour cream.
Sour cream. It's all the good stuff. And you know what? We can all say this. One time is probably not a problem.
Exactly.
But the problem is, it's one time every day.
Every day.
That's the issue. That's what we go for. And I tell you, you can't get your health back. You can use up your health. You can waste it, and you can get better. But my health, I've had a 5-way bypass. Right.
Wow.
I'm always going to have heart disease.
Sure.
They told me that the best predictor of having a stroke is that you've already had a stroke.
Yes. Yes.
So I am now the most likely to have another stroke.
Right. Right.
You know, now I've gotten myself into deep, deep trouble. You know, that's what I'd like to prevent for you. Don't get yourself in the position that I'm in now, where it's like, you know, you can't slip and fall or you're totally out, because that's where I'm at. I mean, 1 or 2 more issues, another heart operation, another stroke. I don't know what'll happen, you know. But I can tell you this, that I could be down to like 5 years. You know what I mean? I'm not. I haven't even retired yet.
Right.
You know, maybe I should be, but I don't have the money to retire. That's
Right.
the other thing.
That's the
you
other
know?
issue.
And I think it's so important that you don't get yourself in that position. You're young. You can still make it through. Don't put yourself like this. And I'll tell you what, too, and this comes back to me, and maybe I'll throw my little radical beret on this one. But, you know, all society wants you to do is sell you fucking candy. You know, that's all they want to do. They want to feed you. They want to give you the pictures that we make of all the pies and the chocolate and the ice cream and the crispy bacon and the hot pizzas and all that stuff. Don't fall into that crap. Don't buy into that lie. You know what I mean? Eat to live. Don't live to eat.
Yes.
You know? Please. And it's not a reward. I mean, I have this total reward system going on with ice cream.
You deserve it.
Oh, you deserve it.
You worked hard.
Yeah, you worked hard. You work. Yeah, if I'm working this hard, I want to enjoy myself. You know what I mean? That's a lie, dude. That's a lie.
Yes. And the other deal is, don't think that, oh, I had a salad yesterday, now I can cheat.
Don't buy
tomorrow.
that lie.
Oh
my God. I used that for 20 years.
Yeah.
You know, hey, I had some fish yesterday. I can go for the In-N-Out burger today.
I can double myself
I
to
can
death.
double that. Oh, you know, I had a burger. I'll have a steak. This is really good meat, clean meat. You know
Absolutely.
what I mean? Yeah, that is the biggest lie.
That's the biggest rabbit hole out
That's
there.
the biggest rabbit hole in the world. And just like, oh, you want some dessert? You know what I mean? Just
Ooh,
like,
a little bit of
you know,
sugar.
Hey, you can tell the. You know, I mean, I totally cave on desserts. I mean, that's what I do. You can tell the server, don't offer me dessert.
Yeah, that's
You know what I
the
mean?
key.
You just say, don't even come back and have the dessert.
Because you remember, you know, the servers out there, they try to push as much food as possible down your belly.
They want to get the percentage of the tip. I don't blame them. They're working you. They're working you.
Oh yeah,
You know what I mean?
the higher the bill, the bigger, the bigger the tip. But everything's psychological, where they bring that menu and the pictures are this huge of the dessert.
Jeez. Or the real indignation, they bring the cart. That cart's a killer. That cart's a killer. That's like bring out
I
your
usually
dead.
order one to split the table and the one to go for me.
Yeah, right. I've done all that. Yeah, I've done all that. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
No, that's. I tell you, and you know what? There was a time where I did a lot of hotels. We did hotels everywhere, and of course, you're eating night after night at the hotel thing. It got to the point of like, and I wasn't on a food trip. I wasn't on a clean food trip by any means in this place. But you know what? It got to the point where I had to go leave the hotel because the food was so friggin' rich. I couldn't take it anymore.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it made me feel bad.
Sure,
you know?
sure. And buffets, they don't help out whatsoever.
Forget it.
Forget it. You're
that's,
thinking...
that's buff death.
That's buff death. You're thinking, hey, maybe I can save the tip and go to the buffet.
Oh, my
God.
God.
But the issue is that, you know, you're walking by all this food, and of course your brain's going to go, oh, I'll try a little of that, little of that, little of that, and
That's
the wrong choices happen
Very
again.
good point. Very good.
You know, at least on a menu keeps you contained.
Yeah. You know, well, and I think, you know, the brain is what does it to us. And remember that menu you pick up, that commercial you see, that Grubhub ad,
boy.
you know what I mean? That's going up, and I don't like Grubhub either. I mean, funny. You walk into a place and you go, oh wait, $15 for a sandwich? Are you kidding me? Yeah, you'll call Grubhub and, that thing will be $20 and you don't care.
All day.
You know?
All day.
But that stuff, remember, that is designed, the business we're in, by the way, we are designing advertising and making things look good so you have an emotional reaction to them as opposed to a logical reaction to them. That's what we do. We make a pretty picture to sell it. Don't suck into that.
Yeah, absolutely. And mentioning names, Carl's Jr. You see the avocado burger, and it looks like fresh avocados.
Oh my
on that,
God!
And you show up over there, and it's some sort of guacamole chemical mess.
Yeah. Well, you know what? And that's another thing. Talking about the food thing, you know what I mean? I got to recount this. I walked into a Del Taco. Okay, this is a couple months ago, and ironically, they had their refrigerator, the glass refrigerator, right, where they keep the food. It just happened to be pointing towards the counter.
Oh, okay.
All right, and there was a big block of cheese. There was a big group of avocados and their tomatoes. I mean, it really looked enticing. And you know what it brought home to me? All of these places, all of these fast food places, hide the real food from you. You never go in there and see any fresh food being prepared.
Absolutely.
You see no groups of food. I mean, and talk about food. Listen, there's something I noticed about that even before I had this illness, obviously. I thought about, after I saw that, and it affected me in that way, and I thought, they hide all the food from you. It's like all they want is this processed crap coming out. And I started thinking about what happens when I walk in the store. I've got a totally different feeling, and I mean that, an emotional feeling when I'm in the produce section as opposed to the chip aisle.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I'm almost like communing with the food when there's a lot of it around you and you see it and you're jazzed by the colors and everything. And I'm saying that's a good thing. I think you're feeling good about food. When I'm over in the chip aisle, I'm going, ooh, I like the barbecue. Oh, I like, that garlic and oatmeal or whatever it is. You know what I mean? I'm going, I like that. Oh, with a burger. Oh, that'd be good with a sandwich. Oh, I love that with Coke. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And it's an entirely different thing. We got to get our heads out of this processed food crap. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Back to the vegetables. And I would like to encourage anybody, any restaurant or anybody who's doing making food, bring the food back out front. Let them see you making it. Sell the raw food. Sell that. You know what I mean? It's good. It's good.
One thing I started doing to try to get away from that salt content.
Yeah.
When you go into these fast foods, you can ask them not to put salt on the burger.
Yes.
Or the fries.
Yes.
People freak out when I say that.
Yeah.
And
like,
people
you don't want salt on your fries?
Oh, are you kidding me?
What are you doing?
But guess what? Here's the deal. Everything goes into the French fry container after they dump it out, and it's all together. But they just don't add more salt. But there is a little bit of salt left on the bottom. You will get a little bit, but you won't get triple the content.
Right.
That's the whole deal.
Right. And that's what. And how many people? No matter what it is, the first thing they go, they just start salting the stuff,
I'm beyond belief, man.
Yeah.
I'm finally, my salt intake is really low now, and one of my roommates cooked up a couple dishes, and it was over salted, and I couldn't even. I had to spit out the bite.
Yeah.
Because it was too salty. So your body will change.
Yes, your body will change. And our bodies suffer addiction. It's food addiction.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Totally.
And I'll tell you something too. think about this. How many? I mean, the term food coma is quite, because you know what's happening? Your body is actually going into a process when it's just going, I'm overloaded. I've been poisoned. I can't take all this.
That's true.
You know,
and what do? You fall asleep.
you fall asleep, and then you don't exercise, and you don't
that's it.
walk. You know, you don't do anything. You know, those are the most dangerous things. Those are the most. I think we have a very unrealistic relationship with food. You know what I mean, in this country, and I for one am determined to change. You know, I have to. Well, I have no choice. I mean, you know, it's the Undertaker next time.
Right.
You know?
Oh yeah. What's the dude with always looking out for you? The guy with the hood on.
The death, the death,
whatever that guy's.
Whatever he is. Whatever.
What is it, Tony?
Grim Reaper.
The Grim Reaper.
That's right.
That's right. The Grim Reaper. Yeah, is my chef.
Go ahead, eat more salt.
Yeah,
How about a little more sugar?
How about some ice cream?
How about some ice cream?
Yeah. No.
So getting back, just making the right choices. At the end of the
just
day,
making the right choices.
Right choices. Right
Okay.
choices.
Hey, who's gonna win?
Oh,
who's gonna win
if
the
you-
book? Who's
I'm
gonna
taking
get
it, I'm
the
taking
book?
it.
I got two of them here. I got two of them. All right.
Who wants?
Who's gonna
Who
get it?
wants?
Who's gonna get it? I need a comment. I need you to write elephant in the comments, and I need a good idea. Do we have any good ideas, Tony? Anybody talking or hating on food? Anything like that? Anything?
Anybody saying, and now pick me up a double-double.
I know. You know what? We're making. I'll bet people watch this and they go out and they get something through the drive-through.
We have a couple.
Okay. Good. Andrew Red, my friend.
Red, yeah, he's been hanging out with us for the whole show.
Yep.
Lots of leafy green vegetables, healthy fats and oils, cruciferous vegetables.
Yep.
Let's see, Angelique Costanza.
Oh, Angelique.
Days off, make sure you get time to relax, peaceful times.
Yes.
Schedule your time off.
Ooh, I like that. Schedule the time off.
You know, East, I take fermented cod liver oil capsules.
Ooh, I like that.
For brain and gut health. That's
Good.
good. Let's see. Oh, I gotta put this up though. Hang on.
Oh yeah, baby.
This is a completely unrelated.
Unrelated
but
object.
I have to put this up. Okay, let me get back over to you guys. There we go. All right.
So we
There
got-
are. Bernie,
Oh.
Ooh.
what's your prediction for the upcoming Super Bowl in Florida?
Oh my God. There will be
Without
one.
mentioning any California teams.
Right. There will be a winner.
Yeah, there will
And there
be
will
one.
be a loser.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's right. You know, I'm going to make a confession right now that I've always been very ashamed of as a man.
Yes.
I don't even know who's playing in the Super Bowl. I've got to be completely honest here. I have really not been a sports guy. Who is playing? I'll give you a prediction, but just tell me who's playing.
Right. 49ers and. No, Tony's not.
So
into
Tony's not into
Oh
it.
my goodness.
Tony- Yeah.
No, I'm going to admit.
Chiefs. 49ers and Chiefs.
49ers and Chiefs.
What's your prediction?
Of course, I predict the 49ers.
There you go. There you go.
So, you know, I'm going to go with the home team.
Put the house. But
I'm going to go with the home team.
Yeah.
You know,
if I'm going to spend 2 hours in front of a TV, it's going to be watching a movie, not guys hitting each other on a field.
well, you know what? I tell you, I'm very old school. I still watch it for the commercials.
Oh, the
But,
commercials are great.
But the commercials have been a little bit bastardized now,
Yes.
where they show them on YouTube a week before. I mean,
Right.
that in the day, you know, back in the 70s, 80s. I mean, you watch that Super Bowl for the commercials.
of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
And I remember, you know what? Let me just speak a Super Bowl commercial now, because that's a good one, my friend. That's a good one. This only aired once, I believe, on the Super Bowl, but I saw it live when it was happening. And this is long before I was in the business. And it was color bars with just the sound, the 1,000 hertz, right? And the print came up, the commercial that was going to be here didn't arrive.
Oh, on time. Okay.
They should have sent it FedEx.
Oh.
I'm telling you, dude, that
Ooh,
I wasn't in the business, but I didn't even know color bars or tone or anything. That hit me.
Wow.
That hit me. I thought, man, that is the most guerrilla thing I have ever
Yes,
seen.
yes.
Because that's taking $2 million and running color bars on the Super Bowl.
But just think how much they saved in production costs.
Yes,
That's a win-win right there.
No, I'm telling you, dude, that was heavy, and that's the kind of creativity I think that we've slid
Sort of
away
lost,
from.
lost,
Slid
yes.
away from. I tell you, always the best commercials are going to be the insurance commercials.
Oh, yeah.
Because what do you sell? What do
Right.
you sell? You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
There's always a very comedic
Sure.
style with those.
Yes, yes.
Um,
So are we off to, we're going to go to that AB5 business now?
Oh,
Bernie,
you know
or-
what? You know what? I can't do that.
Or is that a whole
Yeah,
show?
well, that's a whole show. And what I'm going to try to do, and this is for California people, we've got a thing called AB5 out here now that is just, I don't know how anybody could design anything that would hurt the economy of freelancers any worse.
Well, it was meant for Uber and Lyft, and then it just overflowed.
Well, because
gig workers.
because they want everybody to be an employee.
Of course.
They want everybody. Here's where I come in on this. You know what I mean? Okay, you want everybody to be an employee. You know what I mean? Not everybody. First of all, if you want everybody to be an employee, that's one thing. But that means as a freelancer now, I got to go take employee wages. I got to do that. And another thing, I happen to be 50 years old. Ooh. How many people are going to hire a 50-year-old employee? Come on, let's get real, people.
Yeah, nobody.
And if I've taken my time to develop a skill like being a graphic artist, maybe a translator, I've spent all those hours working on my own. You're telling me now that I've got to be an employee and get just a regular rate after all that time and study and
Yes.
doing it, and I can't go out on my own? And of course, how it affects us is freelancers are the lifeblood of production. The lifeblood. You need the variety of freelancing just to make this product alone. Media products, you know what I mean?
Right.
You've got to have the grips and the gaffers, the DP, the makeup artist. You've got to have the art department. These people come and just work on projects for a short time,
Yes.
and then they disband. You know what I mean? And I know this doesn't directly affect the unions. I
Right.
got that. But let's get honest, unions. You don't want everybody in the union either, okay? Because I'll tell you what happens. If everybody who's non-union in this media industry goes to join the union, you've just absolutely flooded and diluted the whole entire process. And now nobody's going to be getting
Right.
health and benefits. And that's another bugaboo of mine, but I won't go there. But that's what it is. This is a bad bill.
Yeah.
A bad bill. And we had many more conversations of this. I'm going to be trying to get somebody in here who actually can speak to the exact law.
Yes.
I don't want to go off half-cocked
Yeah.
because there is so much bad information and not understanding about it that I don't want to do it wrong. You know what I mean?
Right,
I want to
right.
have correct information on
Yes.
that. It's horrible.
Yeah,
it's horrible,
it's,
and we're right in the throes of it. And somebody wants me to pay my crew through me next week. I have no idea what to do.
Yeah,
I have
yeah.
no idea what to do. So I'm right in the throes of it too.
Yeah, here's the deal. Since the start of video production, film production, we've always been gig workers. This is
We've
always the way
always
it's
been freelancers.
And
yes.
now to throw a monkey wrench into the whole system and say, oh, we've got to change this thing overnight?
Yeah,
Forget it.
yeah, where
Forget
did
it.
that come
It's
from?
got to be a process.
And this comes back to where they said, oh, well, we made it for Uber. And that's, well, if you got a problem with Uber,
And
deal with
deal with
Uber.
Uber, but don't
you know what I mean?
flush it
Don't-
over
God,
everybody.
it's just like
It's
once
an
again-
overflowed toilet. That's exactly what it is.
Yes.
Right?
yes. And no one can find the plunger.
Yeah,
right
and nobody
now.
can find that plunger.
Yeah,
It is just
I'll
overflowing.
just tell you, it's a real nightmare, and the people who did this and the people who supported it better fix it damn quick, because California, we do have the referendum ballot,
Yes.
and we can get that overruled. I mean, we can take that away. We can allow freelancers.
Absolutely.
And I think just a little bit of thinking on those lawmakers, you know what I mean, is going to tell them that you disrupt this industry, you disrupt your media industry like that. And you know what? Here's the other thing is I did not realize just how, I think in terms of my industry, truckers, translators, I mean, there's people left and right that just do that. And come on, people are making a living. They still pay taxes.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
yes.
They still pay taxes. Everything is done, but it is a complete
Yeah.
nightmare.
If it ain't broke, don't try
Don't
to
fix
fix
it. Or fix the part that's broke.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what
That's
I mean?
okay.
Don't make this whole
Yeah, don't do an overhaul.
wholesale, yeah.
It's if they really come down hard, I think it's going to ruin a lot of people's lives.
Oh, it already
It's,
has.
You know, it is.
I see people on the I'm in freelancers for AB5 on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That is a good one. I'm seeing just horror stories. People receiving like, we cannot hire you anymore
Yes.
because you're not an employee in a company.
Yes.
And what are these companies going to do? Can you?
Yeah.
Yeah. What are the companies going to do?
They
depend
they
on
think it's not going to
freelance work.
affect them. It will affect them.
Oh, it'll affect
Rates
them
will
huge.
quadruple,
Oh.
10 times.
Well, this
It's
is
just
it.
gonna
The
go up.
rates are going to go up
Way up.
astronomical.
Right.
You know what I mean?
The only companies that win are going to be payroll companies.
They'll win. They'll
and
win.
CPAs.
Yeah. But no, it's a nightmare.
Yeah,
it's
that's a
nightmare.
total nightmare.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Yes.
And so, all right. Well, we'll I don't
Drum
know.
roll.
Go ahead, Tony. Go ahead. Pick out two.
I get to choose.
Pick out two.
Ooh. Drum roll.
Ooh.
Drum
Put it
roll.
off. Put it off on me.
Yeah, of course.
You'll have nobody to blame.
You're the
but me.
producer,
Hey, we
Tony.
got enough people who
You're the
dislike us.
producer.
Okay. As far as the helpful comments, I have to choose Angelique's comments because it's something that I firmly believe
Angelique.
in. As far as taking the time off and actually, you need to schedule time off. You don't need to just say, I'm going to take time. I need to
No,
take
you
time
need
off.
to schedule time off.
You need to schedule it, and you
Yes.
need to stick to it, and that is incredibly important.
Okay,
So
I got that's a good one.
That one is. I believe in that.
I like
Well
that.
done.
I like that. Okay, Angelique. Angelique's the winner.
All right.
Woohoo!
She's the winner of
Chicken
those comments.
dinner.
Woohoo!
Okay. As far as the elephant one, I got to give it to Grandma G for creativity.
Grandma G
In the house.
Grandma G.
In the house.
All right.
Posted elephant, but posted elephant in the craft room.
Oh,
Very, very
I
good.
love
Well
it.
done.
I love it, Grandma G.
Oh, yes.
Grandma G. I'll be getting a hold of both of you on Facebook. I know we've even messaged back and forth, I think, a couple times. So I'll be getting your address. We'll be sending you that. And, of course, one of the official BG&L C47s, too. That'll be in that gift bag. Yeah, that's something special. That's something special. So, all right, Gary, I guess we're done with this.
Another
huh?
show?
Another show?
Yes, I'm so
In
happy
the
you're out
books?
there,
Yeah,
Bernie.
yeah.
Yes, my hero, my hero.
I'm just happy to be alive. I can honestly say
one week
that.
later after his stroke, he's on live,
I'm
live on Bernie's Applebox.
Happy to be alive.
Wow.
Tony, thank you so much, my friend.
in the house.
All right, all right.
Always here to help.
Yes.
All right. And we'll be seeing you next week on Burnie's Applebox.
Cut. That's a wrap.